So hello to everybody watching. My name's Thomas Thornton, and similar to most people online at the moment, I'm quite sick and tired of just seeing the same repeatable business ideas that people are coming out with, drop shipping, flipping trainers, reselling, etc. And I thought I'd change it up a bit by giving some content that are real actionable business ideas that people can go at. I'm not saying that drop shipping and flipping trainers aren't actionable and you can't make money from them, because you probably can, but they're extremely saturated in my opinion, and I wanted to bring some content that are just proper business ideas really, just to give you a bit of inspiration. And these are all going to be UK based opportunities really. This particular one probably, well, most definitely won't be relevant to anybody outside of the UK. But for those that are in the UK, I hope that you take some inspiration from it. You can either take the idea in its entirety, or you can take little bits from it. It might just open your mind up to different industries or sectors that you could start thinking of business ideas within. So basically, I've done this slideshow, and all I'm going to do is read through it. You've probably, while I'm waffling, you've probably already read this, but I'll go through it anyway, just real quickly, and then we'll move on. So I've spent years looking for the right business idea, the one that would finally break me out of my 9-to-5 cycle. But like many people, I've struggled to get things off the ground. I lack motivation, I'm introverted, and I fear new startup ideas, and I have a million other little excuses for myself to stop me from doing whatever business idea I've thought of. But I've never stopped coming up with business ideas, and these tend to be real, scalable, UK based ideas. Ideas that solve problems and spark opportunity, but I just didn't pursue them myself, and mainly due to the issues I said there. So I lack motivation, I'm introverted, and whatever else other excuses I come up with in my head, like many people. So I've flipped the script a bit. Instead of trying to be the founder every time, I've decided to be the strategist, the idea guy if you like, and the one who shares the gold, not hoards it. So I'm open to sharing my business ideas because I'm not going to start them myself. I hope that somebody else does start them. Sorry, you might be able to hear the dog snoring in the background. Even if you start them yourself and you make a ton of money, all the best to you. I just want to get my ideas out there, build a little bit of a community sort of thing, and just share ideas with you basically. So this YouTube channel and my Patreon are my ways of turning that obsession into something useful. Each week I'll publish practical, well-researched business ideas on my Patreon. Not drop shipping schemes, as I said before, or flipping trainers, but real concepts for people who are serious about starting something of their own. So this business idea that we've got here today is care form filling. So this is real UK based, and as I read on, anybody in the UK will probably think, yeah, that's a good little opportunity there. So we'll move on to the summary of it, because that title doesn't give a lot away. So in summary, this business helps people who are struggling to fill out complicated UK benefit and care forms, such as PIP, carer's allowance, or blue badge applications. Many people get these forms wrong or give up entirely because the questions are confusing and there's very little help available. Local councils and charities are overwhelmed because of the demand for this, and most can't offer home visits or quick support. This service fills that gap. So for a fixed fee, we/you could go to people's homes or help by phone or video and guide them step by step through the forms using clear templates and plain language. It's designed for disabled people, carers and older adults, especially those who are anxious, isolated or not confident online. Over time you could train more helpers across the country so anyone can get the help that they need to apply properly without long waits or confusing advice. So the target market for this particular business is individuals and families struggling with UK social care or disability related forms, including personal independence payment, attendance allowance, blue badge, carers allowance and social care assessments. Currently there are over 3 million PIP claimants and an estimated 10 million disabled adults in the UK, many of which face significant stress, confusion or rejections due to incorrectly completed or insufficiently detailed forms. Demand is particularly high among older adults, neurodivergent individuals and carers, and this is often compounded by poor digital access or literacy. So the business model is as follows. You could offer fixed fee pricing, so £75 to £125 per completed form session, depending on the complexity. And you could, for example, charge £95 for a PIP initial claim. We will discuss pricing a little bit later because obviously people that are claiming personal independence payment, for example, are not on 80-90k a year. So how are they going to pay us? Obviously they don't need to be on that sort of income, 80-90k, but you get where I'm going with it. We'll touch on it later. So optional add-ons could be a phone call prep, appeal guidance, because people are often appealing decisions from governments, local councils, etc. You could offer home visit surcharges, multi-session packages for repeat forms or ongoing care support, and we could build up a referral network, partnering with local charities, GPs, pharmacies and care workers for referrals. And let's move on. So what will you actually be doing? You'll operate as a mobile paperwork support specialist. That's quite long-winded to say you'll be filling out forms, but we need to make it sound nice, don't we? You'll be visiting clients or hosting via video/phone and guiding them through the emotional complex process of filling in benefits and care forms. You'll follow structured prompts, use template-based answers where applicable, and handle submission formatting. The founder, i.e. you, maybe, will also manage bookings, build referral partnerships and create explainer content such as daily living struggles for PIP. Tools needed include a basic laptop, printer/scanner and to be DBS checked, which is not required but it does add credibility to what you're doing. Scalability for this business idea. It's a hyperlocal infrastructure as a service model with franchise potential. After standardizing form guides and training materials, regional operators can be onboarded. The founder, i.e. you, I will keep saying, could transition to a licensing model later down the line, training others and providing centralized compliance tools and marketing. Each operator can serve 5 to 10 clients per week with minimal overhead and high customer trust. So the 90-day launch plan for this business is as follows. So weeks 1 to 2, you would want to probably identify the top 3 to 5 high demand forms, such as PIP, blue badge and carers allowance. These are forms that are being filled out regularly. Can sort of become your bread and butter of the work you will be doing. Weeks 3 to 4, build a website, get basic branding, acquire insurance and a DBS check. I have put a rough cost of £600, but you'd probably be able to do it cheaper, to be honest. Week 5 to 6, run pilot via local Facebook groups, such as Carers in your town, Carers in Manchester. That's applicable to me, and Age UK forums. Week 7 to 8, test the pricing and workflow with 10 free/discounted clients for testimonials. Don't look at this as though you're working for free. Look at this as if you're working for those testimonials, which is then going to build credibility for you. Weeks 9 to 12 begin formal partner outreach such as pharmacies, cab overflow, GPs, etc. So the total setup budget I've put around £2,000, but you could do it for a lot less. This is basically a service where you sort of a helping hand to that person. So it's not going to cost the earth to set up. Let's move on. So what's the competitive landscape for this sort of business? Most current support comes from overstretched charities such as Citizens Advice and Age UK, with long wait times or paid legal reps charging £200 plus. There's no agile tech-assisted mobile-first provider that currently exists for these paperwork pain points. By offering a transparent fixed-price DBS check service, this venture fills the credibility and access gap that's there at the moment. So what would the risks be of this business, and how can we mitigate those risks? There's three main risks in this business. Number one being legal and ethical boundaries on form completion. So you'd ideally want to focus on support with form filling and marketing yourself as support with form filling as opposed to advice. Try and follow best practice scripts and include clear disclaimers. That's quite important because you don't want to come across as an advice service. You're simply that helping hand supporting the disabled or whatever with these forms. Sorry, you could probably hear the dog snoring again. So risk number two would be a low income client base. We touched on this previously. So price affordability, offer sliding scale discounts and pursue referrals from family caregivers. Family caregivers often pay privately, so that's a little advantage there. But yeah, you would need to play with the pricing a bit and find a happy medium. So the third major risk with this business is burnout or emotionally intense clients, which you could probably come across on a day-to-day basis. But to mitigate this, you could offer online only options and pre-session screening. You could also build local peer support forums. So why now? Why does this business suit right at the moment? So post-COVID strain on public services has made access to support for disability and care benefits even harder. We hear this on the news quite a lot, social media, etc. Demand for help with paperwork is spiking in Facebook groups, Reddit threads, and within care networks. People are desperately trying to reach out to people for help with these forms all the time. It's such a frustrating process for some people. The DWP, which is the Department of Work and Pensions, continues to reject large volumes of legitimate claims on technicalities, making third-party help not just helpful but essential at the moment. This venture rides the wave of rising informal care reliance, digital exclusion among vulnerable adult groups, and declining trust in state systems. Local councils, charities like Citizens Advice or Age UK, and housing associations do provide some support for benefit and care-related forms. However, the reality on the ground reveals several structural gaps that this venture directly addresses. So the problem is not really structural absence, because there are things there in place such as local councils and charities and what have you, but structural undersupply is the problem here. There's not enough people to go around for the amount of people that need help. So the reason being this severe capacity constraints. Local councils often refer citizens to third-party charities due to limited staffing. Citizens Advice centres have weeks-long waiting lists for form support. Many voluntary sector services are restricted to certain postcodes or have a first-come, first-serve quotas. The result of this being a huge unmet demand among those who need timely personalised help, which is where, of course, we'll come in with this idea. Exclusion based on eligibility. Support is often conditional. For example, means tested or only available for certain age groups. You might find that with Age UK. Clients with borderline eligibility or complex cases are frequently deprioritized. Lack of emotional or cognitive support. This is massive, especially from local councils, etc. Public or charity services are often impersonal and procedural, not trauma informed. People with autism, neurodivergence, or anxiety often struggle to engage with them fully. So, local councils and charities don't tend to have a home visit or mobile options. Most help is offered in fixed locations, inaccessible to the digitally excluded, disabled, or housebound. There is almost no availability of trained agents who will go to a person's home and do the form filling with them. So I know this was fairly short and sweet. You could elaborate on this idea yourself. Maybe it's give you a little insight into some problems that people face and how you can solve those issues with a service or business. And this is just one of the many business ideas that I share for free. And if you want more ideas like this and access to exclusive plans that I don't share on YouTube, head over to my Patreon, and there each week I publish real researched and UK focused business ideas designed for people who want out of the 9 to 5. Let me know down below what you think of this business idea and any other sectors or industries or anything else that you would like to see.